God damn, it seems I'm having a boomer moment. If it helps, chaps, this is the least important thing I'm doing today. Sorry about that, everyone. I'm very, very old, but not quite as old as the subject of the stream. Now I see why Jim doesn't think that I'm doing this just for the activism. Because he didn't. Matt, you should definitely post an apology video if you want anyone to have any kind of respect for you in the future. However, I've been watching what's been happening to Mundane Matt, and my goodness, it's very reminiscent. Very reminiscent. I mean, it seems weird as well. It seems that, I mean, it's not like I call Mundane Matt a strong person, a strong character. But anyway, very interesting how this is all about egos and about the fact that Jim, my good buddy Jim, was directly involved with this. Now let's get to Doxapalooza. This is the Kiwi Farms post that I'm particularly interested in because of this quote from Haberman. At the end of the day, it's very hard to fear Jim when I know what he's really all about. He can dox me again and call me a traitor or whatever he wants, but it really doesn't mean much to me coming from a pathological liar like him. Man, there's some shade there, isn't it? Pathological liar. I mean, I'm just saying I'm not the one who was part of an internet doxing group and harassment group that hated and feared one another because there was absolutely no trust between them. But I can see that if I'm being an activist on the internet and someone else sees that and they are part of such a thing, they could think that there were darker intentions behind it because they had darker intentions themselves. So we're going to go through a few streams now, and I need to go through a few clips because that was the original intent of this stream, but instead, what happened when I posted this is there was a fucking meltdown on Twitter. I mean, specifically from a chap called Wild Smile, who was leading the Jim Defense Force. Let me get this straight. War Plan Purple, otherwise known as Sargon of Applebee's, is going to dox a guy for making fun of his suit. That's some compelling, ethical behaviour for you there, Sargon. Quite the future in politics in store for you. Well, I mean, I'm just saying, I don't know what kind of person dislikes a stream before it's even happened, but if you look at the stream now, there are probably well over 2,000 downvotes, because that's the sign of people who are certainly not mad on the internet. They are not bothered at all that I'm talking about a particular guy, and they are not acting in defense of him preemptively. There is nothing to hide here. There's nothing to fear. Nothing's going on, and there's certainly going to be loads of doxing involved. No one expects consistency or honesty from you. No one expects that, because you're one of the people who joined it, weren't you? Well, I mean, to me that says he's he's definitely not weird. He's definitely not grooming them, because that's exactly what it sounds like. It sounds like a 30-year-old man grooming a bunch of kids to be part of his cool kids club for his own ego. And again, don't take my word for that. Let's talk to the person who was part of his little grooming operation.
Yeah, oh god, yeah, that was definitely the atmosphere in Metokur, was that we thought we were like really elite, super users on the internet. We were on the cutting edge of trolling as an art form.
Were you actually?
No, not at all. I mean, we did some shit. If people know like School Shooter North American Tour 2012, that was a project that we did. That was a school shooting source mod. That
I've never heard of it, but it sounds awesome, and I'd definitely play it. So, I think we've established exactly the way that my good friend Jim works. He finds a group of young kids and then encourages them to join him on his escapades. And again, I'm going to call this grooming because that's exactly what it is. When a guy who's nearly 30 goes to a bunch of kids that are 14 and encourages them to do things. It's really fucking creepy. And I mean, we even have footage of Jim doing his stuff. Let's have a quick listen to this. This is surely not complete cringe.
So you're either 17 or 18. You know, no, but you're one of those two, right? You're male. American. You have a boyfriend. The boyfriend is 14 years old. Roughly 4 feet high. Okay, 4.5. Okay, 7-inch dick. He's Asian. And you say you're not gay. Okay. You're okay, yeah, okay. Your boyfriend is currently in school right now. Yes, no. Yes or no? Right, right. Okay. Were you texting him just now? Are you on Skype on your cell phone right now? So okay, you say you don't know what kind of phone your boyfriend has. So you're not okay, so you're not sure if his phone could support Skype. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I don't know where to go. Oh yeah.
Okay, that's a pretty poor quality recording, but it does come from 2011, or I guess Jim would be what, 31 at that point, interrogating a 17-year-old about his 14-year-old boyfriend and whether they're gay. I mean, I'm not saying this is exactly the pattern of a groomer, but this is exactly the pattern of a groomer. In fact, it's really weird. It actually really reminds me of Pinocchio. And you might be thinking, what? That's such a fucking strange thing to say, but you know what I mean? It's like, it's kind of true. I can't monetize it. Any money that is made, if it was monetized, would go to whoever owns the copyright of the song. And you can't send a super chat to me, so you know that I'm not doing this for the cash. But because I really want you to donate your super chats to my friend Jim, because he's sick. Really sick. Really seriously sick. There's something wrong with him. I mean, it's not so wrong that he can't spend hours and hours and hours and hours every day laughing at people on streams, but he's definitely super sick. I mean, listen to this. Sorry about the recent delays with videos. I had said when I'd started my Patreon that if I couldn't keep up with it, I would close it down, and I may be reaching that point soon. I don't usually go into personal details, but my health isn't the best, and lately it's been on the downturn, and you can definitely hear it in the joy with which he approaches everything on a stream. You can tell that this man is deeply, deeply unwell. I have a better idea later in this week on the future of this and videos altogether. Depending on how things go, I might be closing up shop. If I do, I'll be shutting down the Patreon, though I'll leave the channel up so you can watch the videos that are already there. Again, not sure how this will all turn out, but I figured I'd give you all a heads up in the meantime. Thanks for the support while this Patreon has been active, while I've been making videos. It's definitely helped. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad that it's definitely helped. And I'm glad that I can truly believe that this is real and not a complete lie. And not a way of milking money out of the children that you've been grooming on the internet using their parents' credit cards. So I hope that my good friend Jim is doing something they call "quote unquote" stream sniping. Now, I'd never heard this term before my good buddy Jim said it, but apparently it's because of the numbers. Apparently it's because this is a way of doing real-time damage control and making sure that you can say, "Oh, look at my numbers, they're bigger than yours." And I'm very glad that they are, Jim. I mean, if I would not want to steal the numbers of a man so desperately sick. I mean, I don't want to point out that you're actually putting me at the top of a pyramid with me, then you, and then anyone who's watching you, and then anyone who happens to be streaming or making content about this afterwards. I'm just saying, you've kind of created a hierarchy by doing this, and you've made me the head of it. It's weird thing to do. But anyway, you know, if people want to run drama channels, I'm not against that, and I understand why they do it. The views are amazing. You know, Keems has got millions of subscribers. You know, my good buddy Jim, he gets huge numbers when he's doing his drama streams. So I totally understand why people do it, but I don't. You know, I'm not really interested in getting on with drama. I'm actually trying to do stuff. And so the whole point of my stream was literally just to answer a few questions he had for me that my friend V had sent through. And I can call him my friend because I actually trust him. And that's the difference, I think, between me and my good buddy Jim, is that the relationships I have are based on mutual trust and good faith, whereas the relationships Jim has are based on having something bad on one another. It's a very key difference, and it really, really explains the depth of paranoia within his circles and the lack of paranoia within mine.
And I don't trust him. And when I hear him make statements on stream where he says, I'll lie if it's convenient for me. I mean, this is a guy that wants to run for political office, right? He has a political ambition. Well, what is he expecting is going to happen when somebody in the press pool comes up and says, so can you comment on the white niggers? Can you comment on saying that you'll lie when it's convenient for you? Or here's a better one, V. We know that you have an association with a YouTuber by the name of Matt Jarbo. Well, recently information came out that Matt Jarbo may or may not have allegedly tried to rape a teenage girl behind a church at knife point. Do you disavow that person, or do you?
I'm sure that when I'm a politician and I'm standing there and running for office, I'm absolutely certain that someone's going to come up from the press pool and say, "Excuse me, can I talk to you about mundane Matt, please?" I'm definitely sure that's going to happen, and I'm actually ready for that too. I disavow. I disavow. The reason, Jim, that people will go and bat for me while I'm not there is because they're my friends. I know that's tough to understand. I know that's really tough, but there's a reason that not one of these people I know you've tried, and you and your friends have tried to turn them against me, and there's a reason they haven't. It's because I haven't done anything to them. I haven't got anything on any of them. I haven't hurt them. I don't publicly disrespect them. I don't do anything wrong to them. So they've got no incentive to hurt me. I don't know why they would, and I don't know why you think they would. I'm sorry to tell you, Jim, but the person you don't trust is yourself. And with good reason, it seems.
No. Let me have my little interaction with me. So yeah, he's fine with propagating misinformation when it's beneficial to him, when it's politically expedient. So who the fuck's going to elect a guy to office when he basically will tell you openly, it's politically expedient for me not to give you the truth or make sure that you have the truth. Only what serves my purposes. Who the fuck's going to go put a ballot in the box for that?
Well, let's be honest, Jim. I mean, can you think of a politician you think of as trustworthy and honest? I mean, it seems to me that a lot of people will vote for dishonest politicians, but you're being dishonest here, aren't you? Because it doesn't serve me in any way, shape or form for Tonka and his Kumite to be called alt-right. That doesn't serve me in any way. What I said to Tonka is that I just wasn't going to waste the time. Because, Jim, they call me alt-right. And I'm obviously not. It's demonstrable that I oppose the alt-right and the alt-right opposes me, and yet they call me it anyway. So my reasoning was, why would I waste the time? But you know what? I apologise to Tonka on that stream because he pointed out that he actually had done the same to me, even though it was a lost cause probably. He had defended my reputation. I said, you know what? That's fair, Tonka, and that's absolutely true. And so what I am going to do, if someone does come to me and say that Tonka's part of the alt-right and the Kumite's alt-right, I would defend them, even if the journalist isn't going to accept it or even understand the terms, because that's really the main problem with the whole thing that you're trying to reference here, is that the people who you'd be talking to don't know what the fuck we're talking about. No one does. People off of the internet, out of this corner of the internet, they don't know shit. And all I said to Tonka was, I wouldn't bother.
I will openly state, I think violence is a solution for many of the problems that the world is facing at the moment.
Obviously, violence is always the solution of last resort for any problem. Ask the city fathers of Hiroshima, after all.
Best we can do, or the best Sargon can do, is to influence politicians to whatever degree that is possible. Is that terrible?
Dude, okay.
Why is that crazy?
Because that sounds so dumb. Hey, this YouTuber's going to influence
That's
politics.
Dude,
it's
all
politics.
That's just egotism. Come on,
No,
guys.
it's not.
Come
It's
on.
politics.
Jim, listen.
Fucking ridiculous.
No. That's fucking ridiculous. And a YouTuber could never influence politics, could never influence politicians. Politicians are some high and mighty class of people that Jim has respect for some reason, that Jim sees as being above him, and anyone who's trying to change something is egotistical. They have a savior complex, according to Jim. which is amazing, because I'm just like, Jim, have you seen politicians? Have you ever met one? Have you ever spent any time with one? You'll find they're not quite as elite as they make out. Even the most polished of them are not as clever as you think. And now I say this as a person who has recently been meeting politicians. There's me with the head of UKIP, Gerard Batten, David Coburn, the head of UKIP Scotland, and Count Dankula, an absolute fucking legend. And we're at the EFDD panel on Article 13 and Article 11. Now, did we influence them on this? I would say so. Now, you're going to have to take my word for what I'm going to say, but you can corroborate this with Count Dankula, who was in the room at the time, assuming he's not also lying. I mean, you know, everyone's a liar who speaks against you, Jim. So I know that I'm a liar right now, but I'll do my best to not lie and tell you how it went. So we went into the European Union, obviously. We were invited there by the head of UKIP, and we sat down in an oval room with all of the other UKIP, and it's part of a dissident group within the EU, a tiny, tiny group, because most of them are obviously Europhiles. And it's not just UKIP, there are some other like German and Dutch people in there, but it's mainly us. And they're talking about Article 11 and Article 13. They're boomers. They don't know what they're talking about. It's the internet. It's all confusing to them. They don't understand it. And so Batten turned to me and Dankula and said, okay, well, we've talked enough. Should we refer to our experts on the subject? And I was just, and you can confirm this with Dankula, I said, whoa, I wouldn't call us experts, but we gave them what we knew. And to be fair, we probably knew more than them because we deal with this all day, every day. And I know this is going to sound up my own ass, but I think we were influencing them. I think, in fact, but I mean, don't get me wrong. I wasn't wearing well-fitting suits. And I wouldn't want people on the internet teasing me about an ill-fitting suit that I had to buy in France. Because, you know, I'm well known for the suits that I wear. It's important that you take my suit seriously, chaps.
When I hear Sargon talk about wanting to do something, right, I'm not hearing somebody doing it for a cause. I'm hearing somebody doing it for themselves. When you look at these kind of messages, is this somebody proud of the fact that he's standing up for freedom? Is this somebody proud of the fact that he's fighting against what he sees as some sort of oppression? Or is this somebody stroking his own ego and getting high off his own farts?
I am definitely stroking my own ego and getting high off my own farts, Jim. It's not that it's terrifying to be there and to have to deal with people that you only see on TV. It's that I think I'm better than them. Way better than them. They're garbage. Jim, I'm not even under any threat here. You notice that I don't have a strike on my channel. I don't have a criminal record. I wasn't arrested for a video that I uploaded. I'm not the one who's going to go to jail if I don't pay the 800 fine. I am not in any danger. What you've said there actually applies to Dankula, if anything, but even then I don't think it does. I think he's doing it because he thinks it's necessary. And I think you're saying these things about me because they're true about you.
But back to your question, do I begrudge him trying to do something? No. Dankula did shit. You don't hear me talking shit about Dankula, do you?
Seems weird because it seems that everything you're saying about me is actually true about Dankula. I don't know why you would be bothered that it's me. But I think you see something in me that you can't see about yourself. I think when you say you can't influence politicians, it's not that it can't be done. It's that you can't do it. You can't bring yourself to influence politicians. It's not this impossible. They're actually remarkably easy to influence. Have you not seen the amount of bullshit politicians spew that's nonsense, but has obviously come from far-left activists? And if retarded social justice warriors can do it, how hard can it be for people who aren't retarded? Like us. Well, like some of us anyway. But getting back to it, that's the point, isn't it? You're wrong. You're just wrong. You think politicians are high and mighty, and they're not. And the thing is, I was thinking about this, why on earth do you have this kind of deep-seated insecurity, not just about me, but about the ability of YouTubers to actually have an effect in the real world? I mean, I would say, if I was being charitable, it's because you just don't have any experience of it. But I mean, if I was being uncharitable, I might say it's because you're a loser who's playing to an audience of children, and you don't think that anyone swallow a difficult black pill to swallow. And if you say, well, only violence is the answer now, then that means that you're completely above it all. There's no politics left. It's just war. I've been saying things that are true. Everything I've said here is true. And you're going to claim that this is part of a massive ego, or that I'm getting high off my own farts. But the difference, I say things that are true, and you say things that might be true, but aren't. That's the difference between us, Jim. It's not that you couldn't do this. It's that you choose not to do this. Whatever emotional block that you have, and whatever emotional problem that you have that makes you want to spend years grooming children online to go and troll people for your own ego and amusement, whatever that affliction is you suffer from, it's not something I suffer from. I don't do that. I mean, I'm not saying that's the most pathetic thing I could actually think of, but I can't think of a way of saying that that's not going to be offensive, insulting to you. So maybe it is. You are just a lie. You lie to yourself. You lie to other people. You lie about other people. And at the end of it, you're the one who profits. You're the one who makes money out of it. It's almost like you've monetized immorality. You've monetized being evil on the internet for your own personal gain, your own ego, and your own viewership. But that's okay. Because when I'm sat down with MEPs telling me how corrupt the European Parliament is, when I'm doing various things and you're thinking, wow, look at that guy getting shit done. Look at him, high on his own farts. Look at that massive ego. I'll still achieve more by failing than you'll achieve by doing nothing. Isn't that incredible? Like, you won't achieve any of the things that I've achieved. And I know I'm massively egotistical there. So, I'll let you get back to grooming teenagers who are totally not mad on the internet. And I'll get on with the second important thing I'm doing today, which is obviously making my video. And I'm taking actually a really big risk tomorrow. It's really interesting. I'm actually meeting up with a bunch of BBC journos and film crews, and they want to film a documentary, like a mini doc, the sort of 20-minute thing on me. And they wanted to do it on Dankler and PJW, but I don't think they were interested. But they want to do it on us, the YouTubers. And so I'm kind of nervous because you know what the BBC are like. They're going to fucking, okay. I'll tell you what the journos are like. They're not very trustworthy. But so I'm kind of nervous about that. But I wasn't nervous about doing this. This is nothing. Your career on YouTube is nothing. No one outside of this knows anything about you. They don't care about any of this. And I'm not trying to do this to hurt your ego. Once again, I'm just saying things that are true. And they didn't know about, well, actually they did know about me. Farage actually knew who me and Dankula were. But, that's, again, I'm so sorry. I state true things, and that's an ego booster. I've got to stop it. But anyway, Jim, I'll get off. I'll let you stream snipe me for those precious views, and I hope it goes well. I hope you get to have a really great time. I hope you all. I hope you all have. Sorry, I'm gonna stop making jokes about you and your teenage audience. Anyway, take care, everyone.